Cheers to 2022.
Yeah, we're feeling celebratory and reflective. I mean, what a year it has been.
Yeah, after really rough 2020 and 2021 with races being cancelled and moved and no world champs and just all-round confusion, 2022 finally felt like the world of triathlon got itself back on track.
Yeah, so let's reflect and reminisce before putting 2022 behind us and look forward to 2023. Well, I've got to say, it's got a weird taste out of a plastic bottle.
You're just rehydrating early, is that what it is? It makes it, you could get extra effervescence.
To be clear, this is Prosecco in here, not precision hydration. But I'm sure they'd be proud of me.
Dedicated athlete.
Yeah. Anyway, let's start by taking a look back at some of the major racing of this year. And we had some impressive short course racing to kick the year off with the Arena Games in April and May, taking triathlon up a level, or 3, and then of course the Super League Triathlon, which took place over September and October, which was just phenomenal.
Yeah, it's actually getting hard to remember a time when sprint distance triathlon seemed short and a $10,000 prize purse seemed big. Super League has really shifted the perspectives in the last few years. They also introduced us to a new venue in Neom in Saudi Arabia, although to be honest, it was pretty much exactly how I imagined it. It was a single road through the desert at this point.
Yeah, it definitely was. Well, World Triathlon Series doesn't seem to have suffered as a result of this uprising of the super short races. In fact, the grand final in Abu Dhabi had some thrilling events, both for the men's and the women's races.
Meanwhile, we were spoiled for choice for middle distance racing this year, with $2 million PTO events, plus the $1.5 million Collins Cup, plus the 70.3 World Champs in St. George. And all of these races provided pretty thrilling events to watch. And also, although there's still room for improvement, the coverage of these events has just got so much better.
Oh yeah, second that. And of course, we had not just one, but 2 Ironman World Champs this year. Of course, we had the Ironman World Championships in St. George in May of this year, the first time it's ever ventured outside of Hawaii. And then after a 3-year hiatus, we were back with the Ironman World Championships in Kona. And it was worth the wait. We had separate day races for the men's and women's, and we had some exceptional performances with first-time World Championship winners from Chelsea Sodaro and Gustav Iden.
Yeah, and the best bit was GTN were there for both.
Well, those 2 World Championship races had very different feel to them, but great racing served up at both of them. I should know, I got to go to both of them.
Oh, lucky man. Oh, we also had the Collins Cup, although James did miss that, and Roth, due to some visa issues, but we won't dwell on that too much.
Didn't miss those races.
Yeah, okay, well, let's rewind on what we thought was going to happen for 2022. And our predictions were rather vague, and for a good reason. It just meant that we couldn't be quite so wrong when it comes to this moment now.
Always safer, yeah. We did predict Ironman World Championships in St. George would be taken by Jan Frodeno, and that turned out to be completely wrong because he couldn't even start there.
Yeah, we also predicted that Lucy Charles-Barclay would set the world alight in 2022. Sadly, she was sidelined for almost half the year. I'm starting to worry maybe there's a bit of a GTN curse coming on, but actually she came through with the goods and had a very, very good second half of the year.
Oh, she really did.
Maybe there's no GTN curse.
Yeah, well, exciting to see what she does next year. Well, now on to our actual predictions and time for some firm scores. And this first one is a bit negative, and actually it meant that we've ticked it because we predicted that GTN, I mean, not naming any names, would fail to actually succeed in some of our challenges. Well, that pessimistic prediction was actually one of yours, Mark. I mean,
maybe because I knew what was to come this
You get the
year.
tick.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, got that one right, yeah. Mark also predicted the finish times for the sub-7, sub-8. He went for 6:56 and 7:42, and they were actually 6:44 and 7:31. So 12 minutes out and 11 minutes out. And
pretty good.
Considering what massive records they were.
Really good, I'd say.
They were
that was
massive
very good.
goods, but it's
really
still,
good.
I think it's far enough out that we're not giving you that.
Oh. Damn it. All right, well, James also predicted that Daniel Reef would win both the Ironman World Championships this year. I give you half a point.
Yeah, I was half right. She won one of them.
Well, you're not right. because-
Yeah. Well, Heather predicted, really went out on a limb here and predicted a Norwegian
Oi.
on the podium of both Ironman World
I mean, if
Championships.
Daniela had won both, you would have said that we would have said that you were really going out on a
Well,
limb.
you
to
just said
predict
on the
that.
podium, though. You didn't say win, so you really weren't going out on a limb, were you? She was right, because not only
mean,
did a
each way
Norwegian
better, okay?
finish on the podium of both of those, a Norwegian finished on the top step
So do I get a
of the
bonus
podium
point?
on both those, so we have to give it to, yeah, we're going to have
With
to
a
give it
bonus.
a... Well, no, you
Thanks.
just
Thank
get
you.
that. You
Yeah.
said podium, they were on the podium.
I get a
You didn't
bonus
say-
point because
you didn't
they
say
won.
which step.
Get a bonus point.
Okay, moving on to our own goals for 2022. I predicted that I was going to attempt to run a fast half marathon, a half marathon PB. And as it turns out, I didn't even run a half marathon. In my defense, though, they did change the date of the half marathon that I was planning to race 3 times. So
So they gave you more time to train for it.
No, they just moved the goalpost. It was too difficult. I also predicted that I would have a crack at a marathon PB because Mark said he was going to, and I said I'd do it with him.
We didn't even do a marathon.
We didn't even do a marathon.
No, and I also said I'd give, that unfinished business with Paddy Buckley another crack, and didn't even do that either.
Yeah, it remains unfinished business.
Yeah.
I mean, I also targeted a half marathon, and my half marathon also had the date moved. Funny that. However, it just gave me a bit more time to train, and I did end up getting a personal best, which I was super chuffed with. So the back end.
Yeah, well done.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Well done.
Yeah, the back end of the year was actually quite surprising, and then the 10K tacked on, so got a bit of running confidence. I mean, Christmas might get in the way, but yeah, I didn't.
You've already put us to shame, Heather. You don't need to carry
you
on.
can
You
stop.
can just stop.
You can
just
stop.
have a mince pie or something.
I'll have another sip of
Cheapers.
this.
No, you've done very well.
Okay, I did get pulled into a mixed team relay. First time I've ever done one of those in my life, and I have to say, we absolutely smashed those 14-year-olds. Okay, yeah, we did win for the record, but yeah, we were racing against teams of 14-year-olds, and it was a lot of fun. I did enjoy it. It was a lot of fun. I also did my first ever 100k ultra marathon in my life. I didn't film it because it wasn't actually for work. It was something of a personal challenge, which is a translation. My wife made me do it. And I did it on far too little training. It was supposed to kickstart my training and getting fit again.
It just broke you.
Well, all it really did was reinforce the fact that I really shouldn't do any races if I'm unfit, so I've done no more races.
Well, I actually had a bit of a quiet year for me. I think I might have burnt myself out in previous years. I did, though, do the Xterra European Champs, which was just really cool, and it kind of, I don't know, it's a bit of a fitness camp for me, get me going.
You went for the intense stuff. You did your Super
I did
League
the
as
Super
well.
League, yeah, that was really cool. And I did get to cycle kind of across the English Channel, but you're going to have to wait for that. That was an almighty
that we
effort as
counting
well.
Typo,
That was big.
Okay, well, enough looking back at 2022. It's time to look ahead to 2023. And there is so much coming in 2023 that it's hard to believe it's actually all going to fit in the calendar.
Yeah, after 2022's successful debut of the PTO Canadian Open and US Open, in 2023 they're going to be adding a European and Asian Cup to their calendar, meaning we're going to have $4 million middle distance races in addition to the Collins Cup, although we don't actually know the venues for those just yet.
Yeah, and it might not actually be 5 middle distance races, as there are rumours that one of them could be double the distance. So a 200-kilometre race, which would be a 4K swim, 160k bike, and a 36k run. However, it's not confirmed yet.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in the Ironman universe, that is not the Marvel one, the other Ironman universe, the Ironman 70.3 World Champs will continue its migration around the world, this time going to Lahti in Finland, which has mostly been really successful. And as it turns out, that may have been a trial for rotating the other World Champs around the world, the big show.
That's right, in 2023, the Ironman World Championships will not be in Kona, or at least they won't be for the men. Now, this last year, they split the Ironman World Championships over 2 days, and it seems like they just went ahead and plan to do that again. And they've given out slots already for that, which means that they've got to do it over a 2-day format and they cannot go back to that 1-day format, and now means that they're going to have to change location for one of those.
Yeah, and they're still keeping us hanging. We don't yet know where that is. However, the rumours are suggesting it could be in Nice in France in September. But we'll let you know, obviously, once that's confirmed. Wherever it is, hopefully, we'll be there.
Yeah, unfortunately, no volcanoes to ride up in Nice, but I'm sure
mountains or coals.
Yeah, I'm sure we can find some kind of challenge. On the shorter side of racing, there's also plenty to look forward to. The Arena Games will return from February every 2 weeks to kick off the short course year. Montreal, Switzerland, Singapore and London for those Arena Games. And if it's an arena though, it doesn't really matter what city it is, does it? I mean, it's televised and it's in an arena. It's all in Watopia, really.
Yeah, that is very true. WTCS will also add some new venues to their calendar, with Sunderland replacing Leeds as the UK venue. Remains to be seen, obviously, how the British weather will cooperate with that event. And also Pontevedra in Spain is going to be the WTCS Grand Final event venue.
Yeah, and then of course we've got the qualification period for the Olympic Games in Paris 2024, which is happening or starting now, and athletes are going to be trying to bump up their individual rankings in 2023 as well as their nation rankings so that they can hopefully get a spot for their country. And that's all going to culminate or really kind of ramp up another level when we get to the test event in Paris next August.
Yeah, and we've also got Super League wedged in there somewhere too. We're not really sure what dates they're going to be yet, but we're presumably at the end of the WTCS season, September, October, although, yeah, dates have not been announced yet.
Yeah, so much to look forward to. We're going to have a hard time deciding where we're going to go. Maybe let us know where you'd like to see us in 2023.
Everywhere.
Singapore, Australia.
Yes, we also have to decide what we're going to aim at personally in 2023, and hopefully we'll do better at actually achieving them in 2023. So, time to say it out loud and put it out there.
I mean, you're tying us all with the same brush here, but I mean, James, you and I have a fairly significant birthday next year, so that is motivating me because I feel like there's only so long I've got of potentially trying to run faster, so I'm trying to still stick to the shorter distances, and I want to get under 18 minutes for my 5K. It might be ambitious because I did that when I was an athlete, not when I drank Prosecco whilst at work, so that could be a challenge, and there's a sort of time I have in mind for my half, well, not in mind, that I would like to do in my half, but well, I'm not going to say it on camera. But anyway, I also would love, just for a bit of fun, to do an Xterra gravel race as well.
Ooh,
that's just kind of like,
yeah.
just as an extra thing to do, so that makes me actually do a little bit of swimming and a little bit of cycling. Otherwise, I just run all day.
A good goal, yeah. Well, I also want to get fit again because
Thank goodness you really let yourself go this last year.
Thanks, Mark. Yeah, it has been.
I sat in the middle for a reason here.
It has been nearly 2 years now since I retired from professional triathlon, and I think I've had enough of a post-retirement off-season, so it's time to start getting fit now. I have to pick a goal, and let's face it, swimming is out. It's just not going to happen. Don't even try and convince me.
Don't blame you.
Cycling is really taking a bit too much time. With the kids and the dog and everything else, I just find myself not finding the time to do it. I will ride to work, and I actually promised myself I'll do that a little bit more often in 2023, but I'm not setting any major cycling goals.
You're starting in January, that's a bold move.
I didn't say that. I said I'm just going to ride to...
2023 starts.
I'm just going to ride to work a little bit more often in 2023. Most of those are going to be in summer. Anyway, I have set a goal actually. So last year I ran that 100 kilometer. I've decided to enter another one, and this time
100 miles.
I'm actually going to train it. No, 100 kilometers again, but this time I'm actually going to train for it. So I've entered Ultra Trail Snowdonia in May, and I want to see what I can do when I actually train for it. So the training has just started, and I am going to train properly for this one, I promise.
You promise.
Hold me to it.
And I have also entered Ultra Trail Snowdonia. So James has roped me, and actually I was looking at doing it myself because I quite like to collect the stones to be able to do UTMB. I'd like to qualify for the CCC, the ever so slightly shorter but also incredibly hard event. And yeah, James said he was doing it for his 40th, so I was like, hey, I'll join you, let's run it together. And it's,
running it together, not a race. This is going to be one of those things, not a race. No, not that kind of together. No,
but yeah, the terrain is pretty nuts. Yeah, I've done obviously the Paddy Buckley before, which is another beast in its own. And I know the terrain out there. It's not just your standard 100k. This is going to be pretty tough going, so we're going to have to train hard for that.
It's literally 2 weeks after my 40th birthday, so it's quite a good milestone for me.
So you've got enough time to get over the hangover?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I'm also going to use that as an opportunity. If I'm going to do a bit of training up there and preparing for that, why not try and do the Paddy Buckley once and for all? So
put it to bed.
Either that, or I would like to do the Bob Graham round maybe as a sort of like warm up to that. So we'll see. One or the other.
You know, guys, we are a triathlon channel. Yeah. We've all just said over
No, did you hear? We're changing the definition with an ultra trail next year.
It's running with a little sprinkle of cycling and swimming.
Well, on which note, we have actually got something quite fun coming up on the channel in January.
Yeah.
We are starting alongside Zwift a Get Fit in 30 days. So we have set up a GTN club on Zwift. So if you head into the companion app on Zwift, you will find and search for the GTN official club page and sign up to that. And we're going to have some workouts going throughout the month of January. And we're basically encouraging you, alongside with Zwift, to try and do a bit of exercise. That can be walking, running, cycling, whatever you like.
Yoga.
Anything you like.
Movement.
Each day for 30 days. We're trying to get you doing something around 30 minutes. So we're going to be hosting some group workouts so you can join along with us, and we're going to be leading those. But yeah, why not get involved? It's a great time to try and do that.
If you want more incentive, once you've done so many, you can access a GTN kit on Zwift. I think you haven't got it yet, have you?
I don't even, they haven't even given it to me yet. I don't know what I have to do to get it.
James is going to have
maybe
to get
I'll
it
do
in
the 30
January.
days. Yeah, I'll do the 30 days challenge.
You know what, as well, if you do get involved, why not film yourself and send it in to us? We've got that photo uploader link. We've put it on the screen right now. It's in the description down below. We might try and feature it in a video at the end of the month.
Cool. How's that for New Year's resolution? No cheat days.
Well, to wrap things up, I think we should just a little look ahead and predict our own predictions. And I am going with,
Risky.
I'm going quite sort of narrow here and saying that Lucy Charles Barkley qualifies for Paris 2024. Or at least puts her cards on the line. I mean, you know, she's had some time off and she's
No
maybe
pressure,
had a
Lucy.
chance to,
Sorry, what is it?
learn
Cards on the
things.
line or she qualifies?
Yeah.
You said
gotta
two.
say she qualifies.
We need to know.
I mean, but the the period doesn't quite end by December, does it? So she's like in the mix still. We're still on tenterhooks of like she's got a real chance by the end of the year. So she's gone to the test event and she's like there.
You were
mixing
going
it
out
with
there and
Georgia
saying,
Taylor
okay.
Brown.
So your prediction is in 2024 she goes to Paris Olympics.
It is, but we will have a very
It's okay,
good
we'll
idea.
review it into 2024.
All right, come on, what's yours?
Yeah,
Come
no
on.
pressure, Lucy.
Yeah, you're criticising mine. You better have a good one.
Okay, my prediction is that the Ironman World Champs, the male one, which is not held in Kona, is going to be exciting and thrilling and a great success. Despite what everyone is saying about it at the moment. It'll be a really watchable, thrilling race, and a Norwegian will win it.
I mean, I'd love to know how we define success.
Well, I said it would
you're
need-
not on the judging panel for this
I
one.
said a Norwegian will win it. You just said on a podium, so...
Well, I've got a little bit of a techie one.
No surprise.
I think we're going to see some notable pros this year racing on the classified PowerShift hubs.
Ooh, the other one by.
But that is
Calm down,
cool.
guys, let's not get too
But it's
excited.
it's like a 1x setup, but you've got all the gears of a 2x setup
Well,
with
it's like
the
a 2x
aerodynamic
setup
gain.
without the front derailleur.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, well, we'll see
What
if
do
that
you mean?
happens.
What do you
think
mean? I mean, by all the pros. All the pros.
No, I said notable pros.
That's okay.
So I just think you might see the likes of a Rudy
Very
Bomberg, a
techy.
Gustav Eden, someone like that, riding on it at an Ironman World Champs.
Okay. Well,
We will
I
see.
feel like
there
you don't
we
like
go.
that.
I mean, that is out there. It's recorded. It's there for-
And sorry, I got another one. Lionel Sanders might change his mind on the maple syrup nutrition decision.
Okay, well,
Seems to be working for him though.
We
So
will be coming back to those, but if you guys have any challenges that you think that we should attempt, well, let us know. But also, if there's anything that you're going for next year, you know what to do? Leave it in the comment section below.
Yeah, and if you're looking for something to watch right now, you can review 2022 again by watching our bloopers reel from 2022 and have
What,
a good
we make mistakes?
laugh at our expense.
Surely not.
Well, I mean, Mark and Heather's bloopers, I don't do those.
No.
Well, thanks for watching and supporting the channel this year in 2022. We'll see you in 2023. You can have these back now,
Oh,
guys.
yeah, thanks.
There
I
we go.
was going to say, can I have those back?
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.